So this week I've been trying to fix some electrical issues in the vehicle. I got the brake booster leak fixed. I just I got put a new check valve in here, plugged it up really good, so now that's running clean. And I've been working on the I don't have really any lights. I don't have brake lights, and I don't have headlights at the moment. So the headlights are vacuum actuated. They're going to open up the cover, and then the lights are going to turn on. It's activated by this switch here. You pull it, and it's going to send an electrical signal. That's what I figured out so far. To, I believe, this switch right here. So this is all connected to the dash. Goes into the firewall right in here. That cluster of insanity. And it's connected through this wire here. So I believe that this wire is going to send the signal. And this is a vacuum switch. And it's going to open and close vacuum lines. They're supplied by vacuum canisters and stuff like that. So I went ahead and I bypassed this vacuum line going directly to the actuators here through this union here. So instead of going in here and going out here, I bypassed it, and as soon as I hit vacuum, these dampers close and they stay closed. So if I open these up and leave them opened, they'll close immediately as soon as the car turns on. So this vacuum is connected to the headlights. I do know that, and this looks like a check valve here. Probably one is vacuum in and one is vacuum out. I'm not sure which is which. And then it runs into a whole jumble of lines here. And interestingly enough, because this headlight is closest to the main vacuum, this will open first, and that will open second. And close, and this will close first, and that will close second. Because they're double actuated. There's an actuator here, and then there's an actuator here. And so that's the headlights. And I think maybe the switch is bad, or there's a disconnection in this mess of shit. I'm trying to figure it out so I can get headlights. Right now, summertime in Alaska, I don't really need headlights, but of course it'd be nice to get them on. And then I was trying to figure out my blinkers, and I got that somehow figured out. So this was not working yesterday, and the fuse was blown. So wasn't sure why the fuse is blown, but the sequencer is here, I believe. And so I adjusted these little screws here and replaced the fuse, and everything came back on. I believe this is the brake light relay here, this one. And then the brake lights are not working, so I got to figure out maybe this relay is bad or something's not connected. Whoever had this car last went through it and disconnected a lot of stuff. It's quite unfortunate. So that's the sequencer that runs these sequential headlight or blinker things. And then the fuse box is in here. And the fuse is this one right here. So the one that says turn signal. Right there. It's rated for 15 amps. That's what I believe that says. And so I have a 15 amp in there, and it was blown. And then somehow that's also connected to the emergency flashers here, because when I jigger with that button, these blinker lights may or may not work. So it's very complicated and confusing, but I'm slowly starting to understand and figure it out little by little. I think I figured out the vacuum line setup. The vacuum lines are not nearly as complicated on this as they are on my my Lincoln over there. So that Lincoln had a lot of vacuum stuff due to the smog. So that's a 1975, so they had environmental EPA stuff and vacuums everywhere for smog stuff, the emissions. But this is very simple, being as it is a 67. So it doesn't have nearly as much vacuum insanity, but these headlights are vacuum, or the headlight covered, the doors are vacuum actuated. So I believe I got that figured out here. But I don't know why I don't believe I'm getting power to this switch. It's gonna turn the headlights on. So I'm trying to trace back to here and then into the dash and under the under the steering column to figure out what the hell's going on here.